going on YouTube? It's your boy Thomas, and today we are back with one of my favorite video formats, the car vlog. Nothing quite like telling a story while in your car driving to do some task. Today, I'm on the way to the post office to sell a pair of Nike slides that I sold on Poshmark. Not that interesting, but it gives me a good opportunity to share the story about how I crashed my Nissan 370Z twice. This happened in the course of 2020, the cursed year for us all. And yeah, I'm just gonna talk about it and how I got this 2009 Honda Civic Si after that crash. So we'll start from the beginning. The first story, it was a very hot day in July in southern Indiana. I was living in a house in my hometown that my parents, they live in the same town basically, and my AC went out. So it was really hot and I wanted to go home in a house that had actual AC. I believe the power was out too. Yeah, everything was out. So AC was out, power was out. Pretty terrible. Landlord was gonna fix it in the next few days. Okay. Went over to my parents' house, stayed the night, got up in the morning, and was on my way to work. And so when I was on my way to work, I was driving my car, as you do. And I was coming along a road with a number of side roads on it, coming out from a shopping mall center. And I was going a little bit above the speed limit, you know, morning commute in a sports car. It was a 40-mile-an-hour zone, or no, it's a 25-mile-an-hour zone. I was probably going 40, so like double this little, not quite double the speed limit, but like, you know, like that one road in your hometown that's 25, but like everyone drives 40? This is that road. So it's like speeding, but like no one's driving 25 on this road because there's no one on it in the morning, you know? Well, commuters and stuff, but anyway. So, I'm driving along, you know, in the right lane. It's a two-lane, one-way kind of road. There's a median in the middle, and some guy pulls out straight in front of me. Like, I have a video on dash cam, because I have a dash cam. If I have the footage, I will show it. I don't know if I still have it, though. Anyway, so that happens. It was crazy. I was shocked. I didn't hit him. I hit a stop sign. So he pulled out in front of me. I swerved to avoid. And since I had the dash cam footage, the police who reviewed the footage determined him to be at fault, and his insurance paid for my damages, and my rates were not affected, which was awesome because that would have sucked. Anyway, car gets fixed. It wasn't that big of a deal. Life goes on. So, you know, as I'm driving this car, I'm, you know, beginning to be more and more fascinated about drifting and that subculture. So I will admit that my Z was not a true enthusiast Z. It was an automatic 2012. Nothing wrong with driving automatic cars. I didn't know how to drive manual at the time though. So when I got the car, which was my first sports car, I got the automatic. You know, something that I would never do today because I can drive stick, but back then it was like my first cool car, so I got the auto. Anyway, still for me it was great, and it had paddle shifting and its CVT transmission, which is, you know, not great, but you can at least get the revs up in lower gears. So, you know, I was watching all the YouTube videos, Noriaro, Samet, all the cool guys that have sick race cars that are actually, you know, living in Japan doing drifting events. And the classic monkey see, monkey do YouTube, you know, video mentality comes in, and I start, you know, drifting in around corners, getting a little slidey, traction control off. But I never had that kind of instinctual drift, I don't know, ability, capability. No one ever taught me how to do it. So all I would do was cut the wheel and bring up the gas whenever I would, kind of hit the brake. I wouldn't even really have the balls to pull the e-brake, which I wasn't even drifting well at all. It was kind of just fishtailing around corners a little bit. Well, one day, believe it or not, I was going back to my parents' house, which is a funny parallel that I don't think has anything to do with the story, but it's just a weird coincidence, I was going to my parents' house with my girlfriend in the front seat, and I remember I was listening to Yeah But Still podcast, one of my favorite comedy podcasts, and it was rainy that day. It was November 14th, 2020. It was a Saturday. Can't ever forget that, And I approached the neighborhood, I turned right, just kind of recalling it all. And there's this downhill sweeping left turn. It's not a turn, but the road just sweeps. And I thought it'd be perfect to just downshift into second gear, bring the revs up a little bit, kind of cut the wheel. I did that, and the rain, the wet ground, the wet asphalt, causes the car to start sliding, which is what I wanted, but I must have brought the revs up too high or jerked the wheel too hard, because immediately the car brakes completely loose, the back end comes around, and we do a complete 360 and carry our forward momentum into a tree at 20 miles an hour. And I freaked out. I immediately just said, oh my God, oh my fucking God, and was just cussing up a storm. My girlfriend was doing everything she could to comfort me, and I just wasn't having it. I was like, my car is totaled, my car is dead, I'm such a fucking idiot. And I immediately regretted it, because it was so stupid, it was so pointless. The enjoyment of the drifting was such a small, insignificant amount that enjoyment that the despair and anxiety and panic that the crash induced paled in comparison, or vastly, I guess, outweighed those fun moments. I don't remember any specific drifts I've ever done that have been damn, that was sick. Maybe in the moment playing some cool music I felt like a badass, but nothing memorable. Completely in the moment, just stupid decision. And the police came, I told them what happened. I didn't tell them I was drifting, of course, I'm not going to incriminate myself, but I was like, yeah, car broke loose, rainy, whatever. Okay, what are they going to do? It's only one car involved again, which I'm so lucky that no one else was involved. If I had hit someone else, they would have seen what happened. So car, was totaled. It had radiator damage. It had left, or I think it was the driver's side, left fender, wheels were shot. It was a second accident. It was toast. So, in a week we were already gonna go to Hawaii to visit my friend. So I basically just had to forget about it, which was hard to do because I loved that car. It was a really fun, exciting sports car. I've loved the Z ever since Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. My favorite Fast and the Furious movie. Love the Japanese subculture around racing and cars in general. So I loved it, even though it was an auto. But I've moved past it. And during that time in Hawaii, I was deciding on what car I wanted to get. I knew I wanted to get a manual. I had learned from a friend kind of the basics of driving stick. I was really bad at it, but I knew if I got a car that was stick, I would eventually have to learn, one way or another. And I decided I was going to get a front wheel drive car because I didn't trust myself in having a rear wheel drive sports car for a little bit. It was kind of like a self-punishment for what I had done, because I did drive that car stupidly. I did speed in it, and there was also a couple other times there was close calls and I was drifting around a corner into traffic or something. Not into traffic, but onto a road, and then there's a car coming, and it's wow, if I had broke loose there, it would have been bad. So I learned that it's never worth it. Do that shit on a track. It's, never worth totaling your car on a dumbass show off moment. I wasn't showing off for my girlfriend. I was doing it for myself. I can tell you that much. She doesn't give a shit about cars at all. But young male ignorance and recklessness, it happens. But I was able to locate this car. I decided on getting a Honda Civic Si. I'd heard a lot about them, and I researched the models, looked at what they were selling for, and I was stuck on an 8th gen or a 9th gen, but I found the 8th gens had a high revving, naturally aspirated VTEC engine, K20 engine. I love this car. It's got like a little over 140,000 miles on it, and I have another story about the time that I bought it and like the repairs I had to do day one. But besides that, it's been an amazing car to learn stick on and just really have fun, rev up. And then it's not that fast, so I haven't even got a speeding ticket in it. Well, I got one speeding ticket, but I got it dismissed, so that doesn't count. But guys, that's my story of how I totaled my Z like a complete bonehead. Love to hear what you guys think in the comment section down below. Have you ever crashed a car before? What is your favorite tuning sports car? Do you like car content? I sure do. That's been it for today. Peace.